about 4 a.m. right now. I was woken up by a loud siren noise. And then I got these messages on my phone telling me that a fleet of drones is going across Ukraine, specifically to Lviv right now. Stay in a shelter.
You still go drinking even when there's sirens out?
No, of course.
In late October of 2024, 1 year ago, while traveling across Russia as a slightly naive tourist, the local FSB, aka the KGB, they decided I must be an American spy. In order to get time to investigate me, I was sentenced to jail for 17 days by a compromised judge for such vague crimes as resisting authority and calling the Russian invasion in Ukraine an invasion in my YouTube video. I was interrogated a lot during that time, and they would always come back to the same subject. Who do you know in Ukraine? When was the last time you were there? They went through my phone looking for some hidden Ukrainian connection, but the truth was, I had never been there. But I always promised to myself while I was in that jail, if I ever got out, I would go and visit Ukraine. I'd go and visit the people struggling for survival against the same ridiculous regime that had put me there. Well, now I'm free, and I'm keeping my fucking promise. This is my trip to Ukraine. Alright, good morning. This is the cheap little hotel I stayed in on the border last night. Only cost about 40 euros. That's not that cheap, is it? But it's for Hungary. If you've seen the prices in Budapest, that's not that bad. Basically, everyone here is Ukrainian from just over the border. Thank you. Thank you. You cannot cross the border from Hungary into Ukraine on foot. You gotta find, in his words, a car or a train.
Sia, shop. 1940?
1940.
Not now?
Alright, so it turns out there's only one train a day going towards Ukraine, and it leaves at 7 o'clock at night. It's currently 10 a.m. Maybe I can find a taxi instead. Alright, my man right here says there's a taxi.
Excuse you?
4. Chop? Chop is okay? Okay. It was a little confusing, and that lady didn't like me filming, so.
Куда надо?
Chop.
Украина?
Да.
А Чоп или Ужгород?
Мукачево.
А такси? Мукачево?
Да, только Chop.
Чоп? А знаешь, сколько стоит? 50 евро. 50 евро.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
А документ есть?
Документ, да. Yeah. Можешь есть.
Магазин не надо, ничего?
Не надо. Не надо.
Идешь в Киев, да? О, Киев.
Можливо, Одеса.
Одесса, good.
Yeah.
Да.
Okay.
Хорошо.
Первый раз.
Первый раз, да? А Одесса красивый город. Старый город, красиво.
Старый.
Море.
You almost wouldn't know there's a war going on with the conversation we're having.
Паспорт, давай паспорт.
Nah. Okay, we're at the border and he says I really need to turn the camera off. So apparently the border guards were trying to tell me I need 50,000 in the bank to enter the country. A little bit of confusion. At first I thought they were asking for a bribe or something, but... We are now officially in Ukraine. Crazy. Во время войны тут был ракеты.
Ракеты, ну. Ракеты Карпаты, ну.
Карпаты нет.
Да.
Okay. So yeah. The Carpathian Carpathian Mountains, which are here in basically southwestern Ukraine. The safest part of the country. It's a good place to start.
Все.
Все. Okay, thank you.
Ciao.
Köszönöm.
Én is köszönöm.
There you go. Bye-bye.
Uzsgorod taxi.
Let's go see a Ukrainian train station. So the closest city is called Mukachevo, and the next train is leaving at 1:04, I think. Mukachevo?
Билет на Мукачево. Только в 5 часов вечером.
5.
Или бус, автобус.
Okay, I guess the schedule was a lie. Seems like, unsurprisingly, all the train schedules in this region have been completely disrupted. Nothing is running at its normal time anymore. Guess we'll have to wing it again. Maybe we could find a bus or something. She said there's a bus out here that we could take to Mukachevo. You can see already the very clear signs of the country at war. Even though the war rarely ever reaches this part of Ukraine, of course, you have men that have gone off to fight and have died fighting against Russia. It's an indescribable feeling to be here in Ukraine. Last year, when I went to Russia, I had a lot of Ukrainians asking me, why didn't you go to Ukraine? Why'd you go to Russia first? Like, do you support Russia? And it was never about that. It was always, if I'd gone to Ukraine before I went to Russia, I'd probably still be rotting in a jail in Russia to this day. Now I could be here and I could speak my mind freely. Alright, it doesn't look like this really buses either, so the same taxi driver came back and found me. Back in the taxi.
Надо банкомат.
Bankomat. Yeah, надо bankomat. Ukrainian money. Hryvnia. Guess I'm gonna be with this guy for another hour or so.
Добрый.
Я готов.
Окей.
Ты жил в Советском Союзе?
Да.
Да. И сейчас в Хонгарии.
Советский Союз уже нету. Сейчас только Украина. Венгрия хорошо. Орбан очень хороший министр. Он защищает свой народ. Развалюха Украины с Россией, это уже была Венгрия.
Окей. Спасибо. Lux Hotel. 200?
2500. Окей.
Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao. Okay. Bye-bye.
Very much. Very much.
Дякую. Косано. All right, so this is, according to my taxi driver, this is a deluxe hotel that costs $30 a night. My first hotel in Ukraine. Американські карта добре?
Добрі,
Да, окей.
добрі. І ви так добре розмовляєте українською? І руською, і українською.
Я чуть-чуть.
Прекрасно.
And this is a $30 fancy Ukrainian hotel room. One weird thing I've noticed about this hotel, though, is all the other rooms have their keys right outside the door. Like, am I the only person staying? I mean, that's possible. Sadly, we all know what's going on. But
I can just stay in any room I want. Free access. No, we're not gonna do that. I paid my $30. I got my room. That's my room right there. I think. It's gonna be hard to remember. So the war in Ukraine continues, and the US is still deciding if it should send weapons to Ukraine or not. On the one hand, you've got Donald Trump saying that Ukraine is gone, all because Zelensky refused to make a deal with Putin, as reported by the government of Russia. And on the other hand, you have Kiev warning that the surrender of Ukraine would actually cause the West to collapse. Those weapons aren't just for Ukraine, but all of Europe. It feels like all of this is being driven by someone with a narrative that they want you to believe. The problem is, people tend to only read the first article they come across, missing out on the bigger picture. And that's why I'm happy to share with you, as always, today's sponsor, Ground News. Their app and website really help you sort out the truth. Where you get your news from heavily influences your worldview. But Ground News gathers the world's news, including from the US, the EU, Ukraine, and even Russia and China, so that we can understand complicated issues from every perspective. The main news sources in America and Europe are becoming more and more biased. You need a tool to help you think for yourself, and Ground News is the best choice for that. I highly recommend them so that you can have more informed conversations on the issues deeply dividing society. Go to ground.news/sab or scan my QR code so that they know that I sent you. My wonderful viewers will save a massive 50% off the same vintage plan that I use myself and get access to all of their features. As always, I only work with brands that I actually respect, and so by supporting them, you support my crazy trips in return. So thanks. Now let's get back to the video. Wow, to be honest with you, I had never heard of this city before yesterday. It's really beautiful. It's not at all what I expected a Ukrainian city to look like. Over here in southwestern Ukraine, behind the Carpathian Mountains, it's the safest, calmest part of the country. Of course, you still have signs of the war going on. All these placards dedicated to men that went off to fight Russia and died defending their country. Today, I literally just found this out, is actually a holiday. It's the Day of Heroes in Ukraine. I almost feel kind of awkward arriving on a day like that because I am definitely no hero. But after what I went through in Russia last year, I definitely share their struggle. Dobry wieczór, привет. Alanok, zamok? Tam?
Igen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Igen. Hungary. Alright, so apparently there's a famous landmark here in Mukachevo called the Palanok Castle. It's just over this hill here. We can get some cool views of the city. God, this still feels so surreal. Is it closed? I can't really tell. Dobry wieczór.
Exposition close to 6.
Okay, thank you for the English.
Very bad English, sorry.
Ukrainsky also very bad. So on the weekend, there's more people.
Yeah.
Today, it's just me?
No,
Maybe? There's some other people too?
No.
Okay, good. The only American?
Yeah.
Okay.
First.
I got
Today
something.
first.
Great. Okay, I'm gonna go take a look. No videos, right?
Yeah.
Can I film this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what the castle looks like in a picture that I'm filming. Okay. Dziękuję. Alright, so this is indoors, so I think it's okay. I'm not supposed to film the outside of the castle, and I completely understand for war reasons. This area, I believe, as far as I can tell, has only been hit by Russian rockets like once this year. They targeted, actually, an American-owned factory. This seems to be a castle that has been around for literally 1,000 years. I believe it was built by the Hungarians. These lands, for most of history, were not actually Russian or Ukrainian. They're Hungarian. That's the castle. Right in front of me is a magnificent view of the entire town of Mukachevo. And there's a sign that says, "Do not film." Obviously because there might be factories or something that the Ukrainians don't want you putting out into the public. Understandable. Just admire this place from that view. Look at it. 1,000-year-old castle. Never get tired of 1,000-year-old castles in Europe. But man, it is just so surreal to be here. It really is. For me personally, it feels amazing to be here. Amazing. And I'm happy to be here too. It's been a long time coming.
Okay, bratya.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Nine.
There you go.
What is its name?
Tommy,
Tommy?
what's your name?
Alessandro.
Alessandro.
Як ся маєш? Як твої справи? Кічит, модір беселні нем. Саша, підожди.
Я розумію чуть-чуть.
Чуть-чуть. Як у вас там?
Я вивчаю українською.
Я тобі...
Ну, фрау тут. Украин. Фрау.
Правильно.
Ну,
Що мов? What language are we speaking here? I don't... Ти в Вінську? Одежду. Ти в Вінську? Українську?
я.
Русія?
І
Right.
проблема.
Yeah.
Тімберлейк.
Good job. Слава Україні. Слава Україні.
Героям слава.
Май хобби.
Що хобі?
Ліс. Хобі це як ліс збирати гриби.
Все, братами.
Ну добре,
Да.
поспілкувалися.
There we go. Слава Україні.
Слава.
Слава Україні.
Навіки.
Yeah. There we go. Cold. Холодно.
Глінтвейн.
Yeah. Good luck. Давайте. Bye-bye.
Good luck.
The sentiment was shared, even if I don't think we understood each other. I'm trying to learn Ukrainian. I did have intermediate Russian after the end of my prison experience. It gotten a little rusty, but I didn't want to come into Ukraine and start speaking Russian to everybody. So, doing what I can. Hopefully, I can learn more Ukrainian along the way and have deep and fulfilling conversations like that one. Alright, it is a new day in Ukraine. There were no missile attacks in Mukachevo last night. Didn't expect there to be any. This is the safest region of the entire country. It's shielded by the Carpathian Mountains. But today, we will head towards our first big city in Ukraine. We will go to Lviv, basically the nexus of the west. I don't know why that ambulance is there, but I don't think it has anything to do with the war. Lviv? Okay. Okay. Haven't been in one of these since you know where. So we're just passing through the Carpathian Mountains here, and I feel like this is a part of Ukraine that nobody talks about. It is absolutely beautiful. Kind of reminds me of like the Swiss Alps or something like that. It's all these little mountainous rural towns, untouched by the war. help but notice that the train is very empty. Like basically every compartment is empty except for mine. Well, assuming this is because every man over the age of 25 is all fighting Russia. Arrived in Lviv. Alright. First big city of Ukraine. I was so excited I was actually going the wrong way. Alright. Now we're going into Lviv. Wait, no, I'm still going the wrong way. Alright, welcome to the center of Lviv. The weather is kind of shit, to be honest with you, even though it's just the beginning of October. What a way to welcome me to the city. But I'm happy to be here, and I do want to walk around. This is, from what I can see so far, it's a really cool looking city. What I am noticing though is that a lot of things seem to be either under construction or being renovated. Like this church over here. I don't think that's necessarily from the war, but I'm not sure. Lviv and this side of Ukraine has a very different history from the rest of the country. You could argue that this is the most Ukrainian side of Ukraine. Everything is different. For example, most people here are Catholic instead of Orthodox Christians. It's because this city was actually a Polish city for most of its existence. It was started by the Ruthenians, the early Ukrainians. But from what I've heard and from what I can see, the Polish influence is everywhere. And here we have a giant babushka flower market. They're not babushkas here, they're babushka. Мені буду номер. Окей, закінчив? Окей. Дякую. Alright, just got myself a Ukrainian phone number. It's my understanding that the further east you go in Ukraine, it can actually be dangerous to be using like an international SIM card. So, not trying to be stupid here. Also, I mean, this is not the point of being here, but my God, that is cheap. 40 gigabytes, $8. This is almost like a anti-advertisement for the eSIMs I keep getting sponsored by. Meanwhile, in Russia, I think I had to spend days getting a phone number, a bank account, a billion times more complicated than it is here. Happy to be here in Ukraine, in spite of the risks. Some kind of protest going on.
Цього тижня, як і попереднього, ми знову збираємося на акцію на підтримку полонених, безвісти зниклих та їхніх родин. На цьому тижні прийшла добра звістка для деяких родин. Їхні рідні повернулися додому, до України, і для кожного і кожної з нас це справжнє свято. Але досі всі ми бачимо, що Росія знущається і вже навіть офіційно виходить з конвенції. Звісно, це означає, що нормалізують пекло. Хоча про це пекло ми і так з вами знаємо, бачимо, чуємо розповіді тих, хто пройшов російські катівні. Тому всім сьогодні у Львові і в інших українських містах та за кордоном ми мусимо нагадувати, що полон –
Signs are saying free our POWs, free the Azov defenders.
lot of sympathy for anyone who's a prisoner right now because of that regime. A lot of sympathy. But then you walk a little bit further away, and although you could still hear the megaphone in the distance, life seems almost normal here in Lviv. There's actually, I barely see anyone in like military camis or stuff like that I saw down south. It's hard to tell the war is going on here. And then this is apparently the main opera house of Lviv. Man, no one ever told me that Lviv was this beautiful. It's really crazy to see. Like, I'm very used to, after traveling through Russia and Belarus, to just these kind of like spread out, somewhat boring, centrally planned cities, but this is a whole different deal. I just can't get over how nice looking this city is. It's surreal. It is absolutely surreal. I mean, if I asked the majority of you, like myself, probably 99% of you would say, like, I'm scared to go to Ukraine. Like, I'm gonna get hit by a missile or something, but this is not what I was expecting when I got here. This looks like, what is this? It's apparently a book forum. Okay. Dziękuję. Bye-bye. Let's go be probably the only foreigner at this entire event. Okay, zaraz zamienię kwiato. Okay. Thank you. Dziękuję.
Ті 2 дні завтра до нас також можете завітати. Перепрошую, гарного дня.
Окей, дякую.
Доброго дня, нічого забороненого не носите. Ножі, газові балончики такого плану.
I speak a little Ukrainian.
Okay, do you have something illegal, like knives, firearms, pepper sprays?
No.
Nothing. Okay, you can go.
Thank you. All right. Got a little festival going on. Got Thai food. All right. Did not wake up today expecting to have Thai food at a book fair in Ukraine, but that's what we're doing. Okay. Це китайський стіл. So I think those lanterns are Japanese, but whatever. It's Ukraine. They're doing their best. They don't have any Asians there. It's actually American Chinese style, if we want to get really pedantic about it. Hi. Where are the international books? Okay. You said it's the International Book Forum.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Not sure what we could do here. I kind of just want to show you that it's trippy how normal life seems to be here in Lviv. This is a Ukrainian city. Hi. Є словчик. Український, англійський словчик.
I don't speak.
Слова. Українські слова. Дякую.
Тут є слово англійською і тут українською.
Переклад.
Окей.
Це українські прислів'я, там приказки можна вивчати з цим набором.
Окей. Окей. Ти не розумієш український? Мій український?
Я розумію.
Окей. I'm happy.
Просто англійською важко говорити.
Thank you. Bye. Дякую. All right, found something that I can read at the book fair. Man, there's so many people here. A sign of a good, smart society. The book fair is rammed with people. More books, less war. And if only we can get that message across over the border. So we're going to go home and learn my daily English with Ukrainian vibes. You might laugh.
But you know, something I've actually never told you before. When I was in that jail in Russia, the only thing I had to read was a children's English-Russian textbook. Using materials like this actually comes natural to me. So it says here that every single day here in Runak Square in Lviv, they post a photo of a soldier that died fighting in the war. And they have a quote from him, they give a little description. How is life here in Lviv?
Actually, it's peaceful. It's more safe than in our south of the Ukraine, but it's okay, actually.
Okay. Which part of the south?
At least Dnipro, the center of the Ukraine, Kyiv, Kharkiv, and so on.
Yeah, it seems very peaceful here.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell that there's a war going on.
Yeah, as much as it could be. Of course, it sometimes can be loud here as well, but it's better than in other residents. Where are you from?
I'm from America.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. How
Yeah.
did you happen to be
Дуже
here?
приємно.
Навзаєм, навзаєм.
Yeah, it's my first time in Ukraine. I just wanted to visit, see how everything is, and just, you know, help people see what's going on. It's funny what you were saying, because I want to go to Kiev and then Odessa and maybe some other cities.
All big cities, yes?
All the big cities,
Okay.
yeah. So I hope it'll be all right.
Yeah, but there are a lot of alarms. So it's, I guess, they're mandatory to go to the shelters when you hear this, and then you will be safe.
So just follow the alarms.
Yeah,
And go to the
of course.
shelters.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
for
you
your help.
too. Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day. Bye.
Oh, man. That's the thing about Lviv. Everything seems so calm here, but we're not stopping our journey in Ukraine here. We're going deep into the country. And I know it will get more dangerous as we go along, but I've been here for a couple of hours. This is my first time hearing an air alarm, hearing a siren in Ukraine. But to be honest with you, people also don't seem particularly worried.
He don't speak English on the show.
Okay. Oh yeah, трішки Україна.
Sorry? Трішки Ukraine?
Трішки Україна, yeah.
Я теж трішки.
This year трішки. Okay. So this nice man is taking me to see the hotel shelter, which nobody is using. Ресторан? Okay.
Sorry, one moment.
Okay. I guess these would be Ukrainian celebrities that have stayed at this hotel. The Swiss Hotel. It's a pretty nice place. Okay. I guess we're good to go to the shelter now. Say shelter. Okay. So, monsieur? Looks more like kind of like a wine cellar. Скільки чоловіки? Тут.
Скільки треба?
Если ракета из Росії.
Ну, скільки буде бажання, стільки зайде.
Окей.
Ну, зазвичай ніхто ніколи не ходить. Тому що і я особисто ніколи тут не був, і взагалі ні в одному укритті я ніколи не був.
Дякую. And that's the shelter. But as you can see, nobody's using it, in spite of there being an alarm. So that was the shelter in case of an attack. Now let me show you some of the resources. If you ever come to Ukraine during the war, there are some things that you really should have, no matter what part of Ukraine you're in. One app I can heavily recommend is this one, Air Alert. So with this, you can see which areas of Ukraine are currently being attacked. As you can see right now, it's mostly the east, the north. It turns out that the earlier siren was actually for a MiG fighter jet that they detected taking off from Russia. And that fighter jet had the capability of basically hitting anywhere in Ukraine. So they sent out an alarm for the entire country. But the threat was repelled. So this is Runok Square. It's like an hour after the sirens. And you could never tell. All these people. There's tons of people out here. Nightlife is continuing.
Добрый день. Добрый вечер.
Добрый вечер.
Добрый.
I mean, I don't really know what to make of this other than, I guess, like going to bars, talking to the opposite gender. That's kind of just like an essential part of the human condition. You know, it doesn't matter that this country's at war. People still going out. People still drinking. Maybe they're drinking more. I would be drinking more. Hi, будь ласка, do any of you speak English?
Yeah, sure.
You do? Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, okay.
Are there sirens like every night?
Not every night.
Not every night?
We're in Lviv. This is the western part of Ukraine. Because of that, we have sirens like every 3-5 days probably.
Okay.
Probably like that. Once in a week, 100%.
Okay, and you still go drinking even when there's sirens out?
No, of course. It's because of the sirens. You know?
Because of the sirens?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Drink more. Drink more, okay.
That's just one of the reasons.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Thank you. And Slava Ukraini. Bye-bye. Yeah. There you go. What a country. The human condition. One of the essential things a human needs to go out drinking on a Friday night. Get on here real quick. I don't know if they do trams all throughout Ukraine, but again, Lviv feels more like a Central European country, kind of like Poland or Hungary, and they love their trams in Central Europe. All right. I'm not gonna lie. I admire the courage of the Ukrainians drinking in the middle of a goddamn war. I don't know if I'm that brave. I think I need to be like mentally sound for the duration of this trip, so I'm gonna get back to my hotel. Добрий вечір, я хочу це
250 гривень.
250. Окей. Я куплю собі. Собі. Don't have a Ukrainian wife or girlfriend to buy flowers for, but that's okay. I'll support the local babushka flower industry.
Маю. 250.
Okay. Okay. Дякую.
Дякую, гарно. Дякую.
Isn't that nice? I feel so special. Thank you, Tommy. What a gentleman you are. Крапля і в море. A drop in the ocean. How about that? Slowly learning the Ukrainian language. What a beautiful day in Lviv. I think we'll make it through the night. Hope so. Because in the morning, we're gonna catch a train to Kiev. I think. Or maybe the train's in the afternoon. The schedule's really random here. They're at war. I understand. Whew. Good night. It's about 4 a.m. right now. I was woken up by a loud siren noise. And then I got these messages on my phone telling me that a fleet of drones is going across Ukraine, specifically to Lviv right now. Stay in a shelter. Oh man. How do the Ukrainian people live with this? I don't know.
Attention! Air raid alert. Proceed to the nearest shelter.
Alright, I think we're actually gonna need that shelter. Yeah, there's.
In the end, Russia had bombarded the city for 4 hours straight in the middle of the night. And it turned out that this had been the largest drone and missile attack that Russia had ever launched on Lviv during the entire war.
Been awake since 4 a.m. Overnight, the Russians launched the biggest attack on Lviv, on this city, basically during the entire war. Everywhere was attacked. There was smoke all over the city. The rain is washing it away, but what the hell, man? Overnight, they apparently knocked out the main public transportation systems of Lviv. The trams are not running, but it seems like they've set up more buses in response. I'm seeing a lot more Ukrainian soldiers on the streets in Lviv. Up until now, I hadn't seen any. What the hell? Добрый день. Добрый день. English? So, yeah. I make videos. I wanted to know if I could film the attack area.
You journalist?
A YouTuber did this.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Attack, please. Alright, so we're in the zone of the attack last night. After telling the police that I'm not a journalist, but I'm a YouTuber. They looked me up and they let me through the barricade. And I want to emphasize, I am not a journalist, but I also didn't expect to be in the city with a massive attack going on last night. So I'm going to attempt to show what I can. This would have been from putting out the fires that were raging overnight. There's still a thick black plume of smoke hanging over this part of the city. It's clearly from all the fires that were raging just a few hours ago. And you can smell it in the air. You can smell the sulfur. One of the main targets of the strike was this industrial park right here. That's a Ukrainian drone going into the air, thankfully. Going off to survey the damage, I think. Man, these are all just private companies. Nothing military related. I don't know what Russia gains from this. The building down the road to my back seemingly was attacked even worse, but I spoke to the police and they don't want me to film that. And the worst is that the fire is still going. They haven't been able to put it out. See, the Ukrainian Lviv Fire Department is over there working on it. Apparently those warehouses were majority owned by a Polish clothing company and a cigarette company. Apparently overnight they also attacked multiple residential buildings. Multiple people perished. Oh man. There's no point to this. No point to this. So houses on this street were attacked last night. You can see in the back there, there was a building that was completely destroyed. You can see that the fire department is still here. It seems like the fires on this street were put out, but there's still something going on in other neighborhoods. I don't know how to be a journalist, man. I'm just trying to show what the Russian government is doing. Like, what? This is no point to this. This seems to be an aid organization helping out people here on the block. You see a shrapnel mark right here, and then a bunch on the side of this building over here. What many don't know is that one of the biggest dangers when there's like drones or missiles attacking a city. Oh, sorry.
The internet чи ви просто фотографуєте?
Yes.
Hi.
Hey sir, nice to meet you.
Are you speak English?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Люди загинули.
So, as you know, a few people died over there.
Yeah.
It was a family of 4.
А сюди пішла хвиля, повиливала окна, все.
Our building was damaged by the blast wave.
Тут реабілітаційний центр.
Yeah, so it's for the elder, like elder home.
Oh, it's like a nursing home.
Yeah,
An elderly care home.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
We hope this will never repeat again. All of these buildings were just damaged by the shrapnel and the shockwave.
And they told me that Lviv is like the safe city, but
Lviv is safer city, but you cannot be safe anywhere in Ukraine right now because Russia does not discriminate between the civil and the military targets.
I see that now. I see that. You heard that, you know? So all of the casualties from last night were basically on this street. Basically in that building right over there. A family of 4 was in one of those buildings. A family with a 15-year-old daughter, and they all perished in the attack. It's terrible. It's terrible. There's no point to this. Absolutely no point.
In an absolutely tragic twist of irony, it turns out that this man, the father, was off fighting on the front lines, while meanwhile, the missile killed his entire family back in Lviv.
This is not what I came to Ukraine to see, but unfortunately, I don't know what I'm saying. It's terrible. You can see all the glass in the storefronts here was completely destroyed, shattered. There's a little bar. It was also wrecked. Wow.
Добрий день.
Добрий день. Imagine trying to do business normally after an attack like that. This is what Ukrainians deal with every day. Or at least they have to live with the fear of every day. 24. 24.
Yes.
Slava Ukraini. Thank you. What the hell, man? What the hell? 240. 250. No change, it's okay. You know, one thing I didn't expect, how many people speak English here in Lviv? This has to be the most English-speaking place in the former Soviet Union. Maybe besides like Estonia. Estonia does count. All right, so after a very, very eventful day in Lviv, in a city that wasn't supposed to be eventful, well, you know, I could turn around and just go back home. I probably should do that. Some more of the heroes of Lviv, people that passed away during this terrible, needless war. And those just feel a lot more personal now, after actually kind of experiencing a massive attack. And I can't believe, like, after that attack, I'm gonna continue on to Kiev. What is wrong with me? I don't know. Don't know, but I made a promise to myself. Like I said, if I ever got out of that jail, I would come to Ukraine, no matter what was going on here, and show my support. That's what we're gonna do. Let's go to Kiev. Let's go to the heart of Ukraine.